If you've been with me for a while, you've probably noticed something about my videos. Whether we are talking about emotional regulation, healing, or growth, maybe I share some stones, oils, and herbs to try, mindful living practices, or breath work. And they share something deeper in common. Hello, friend, and welcome to Torches, Yoga, and Mindfulness. I'm Lauren, and I'll be your coach. If you're curious about mindfulness, healing, and practical habits that actually work, you're in the right place. Here we focus on simple but powerful practices grounded in ancient wisdom and modern science to care for both your mind and body. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe for me so you don't miss what's next. Today, we are going to look back on some of the practices, meditations, and tools I have shared in my previous videos. And when we look at them through the lens of the four elements, water, air, earth, and fire, we can see the common thread that ties them all together. And we're going to talk about how we can incorporate all of this into a simple, mindful living practice to improve our overall well-being. Let's start with air. Air is about clarity. It represents not only our breath, but our thoughts and our words. You might remember some of the breathwork practices I've shared with you, and how even just a few conscious breaths can shift your entire day. That's air work. When we practice awareness, we are working with the air element. When we use stones like clear quartz, amethyst, or selenite, or herbs and oils like frankincense, mint, or lavender, we are connecting with the air element. If we are too lost in our thoughts, if we are anchoring our identity to our thoughts, we have too much air in our practice, and we need to balance with some grounding practices or emotional releases of the stories that are keeping us trapped. A body scan, either a quick reset or a slow meditative practice, can help bring you back down from the clouds. If we're not getting enough air in our practice, we may feel scattered, dull, or disconnected from our own clarity. And that's when consciously drawing in air can help. Try a calming breath like the Vu or Echo breath practice, or a breath of fire if you need to energize and motivate yourself. Science tells us that these practices help with interoception. That's our ability to sense and regulate our internal body states. It supports emotional regulation, focus, and nervous system balance as well. Regular breath work and mindful awareness strengthen our nervous systems and improve cognitive clarity over time. It's not just about an in-the-moment fix. Air is the part of your practice that says, I notice my thoughts, I create space, I am present. And the tools we use, like visualization or breath counting, help us to tap into that clarity. Friend, did you know our bodies are about 60% water? Just a little loosely related fun fact for you. But when we are talking about water and mindfulness, water represents our emotions in our body. It represents our intuition in our heart space. It's the element of feelings, the gentle ones and the ones that hit us like a tidal wave. You might remember some of the heart-centered practices I've shared, like holding a rose quartz during meditation, journaling your feelings, or mindfulness meditations focused on emotional release. That is water work. When we allow ourselves to truly feel without judgment, we are connecting with the water element. Using oils like rose or jasmine, maybe having some chamomile or hibiscus tea, all helps us to honor the flow of our emotions. If we have too much water in our practice, we might get overwhelmed by emotions or feel stuck in rumination. Practices like mindful grounding, body scans, anchoring your attention to the present moment, or a gentle yoga flow or lymphatic massage help to balance and guide the flow rather than it sweeping us away. If we don't have enough water in our practice, we may feel disconnected, numb, or even rigid in our thinking and behavior. This is when checking in with ourselves is key. Ask with compassion, how am I feeling today? Physically and emotionally? And what do I need to support myself through this day? Science shows that naming emotions and practicing self-compassion activate the areas of our brains that regulate emotional balance. It reduces stress and improves empathy, helping us to respond instead of react. If your water element is something you'd like to learn more about and work with, make sure to check out skill number 1, awareness, and skill number 2, compassion, in the 8 Skills of Mindfulness series that I did earlier this year. So water is the part of your practice that says, I honor my feelings. I allow them to move through me. I respond with compassion. And the tools we use, journaling, mindful reflection, or heart-centered practices, help us to stay connected to our emotional truth. Now let's talk about earth. Earth is about grounding, stability, and embodiment. It represents our connection to our bodies, our home, and the world beneath our feet. You may remember practices like the body scan workshop we did, mindful walking, or simply feeling your feet on the floor. These are earth practices. They anchor you in the present moment. When we work with crystals like hematite, smoky quartz, or obsidian, and oils like cedarwood, they help us to better connect with our physical self and to ground. If we have too much earth in our practice, we may feel rigid, stuck, or resistant to change. That's when it can help to add more air or fire to bring flexibility and energy back into our system. If we don't have enough earth, we may feel insecure, scattered, or anxious. Simple grounding practices like noticing the support of a seat beneath you, planting your feet firmly, or doing some gentle stretches help to regulate the nervous system. Science supports this. Grounding and mindful movement increase proprioception, our body's awareness of itself in space, which improves our focus, balance, and even emotional regulation. Earth is the part of our practice that says, I am here, I am steady, I am supported. And the tools we use, body awareness, walking meditations, or grounding crystals, help us to feel secure and present. Finally, let's talk about our fire element. Fire represents energy, action, and transformation. It's the spark that motivates us to take care of ourselves and our lives. Or it's the collapse of old, making room for the new, like with the phoenix. Maybe you remember our practices like intention setting, movement flows, or journaling with bold declarations. These are fire in action. Using stones like carnelian or citrine and oils like ginger, rosemary, or citrus can help us ignite that energy. If we have too much fire in our practice, we may burn out, feel scattered, or act impulsively. That's when balancing with water or earth through rest, reflection, or grounding is essential. If we don't have enough fire, we may feel sluggish, unmotivated, or stuck in routines that no longer serve us. Practices like a quick, energizing movement, breath of fire, or even setting small intentions for the day can activate this element. Science shows that movement and intentional action stimulate the prefrontal cortex and reward pathways in the brain, increasing focus, motivation, and resilience over time. Fire is the part of our practice that says, I move with purpose, I create change, I take inspired action. And the tools we use help us to harness that transformative power. So, these 4 elements show up again and again across different practices. Water and air come together when we pair breathwork with heart reflection, when we breathe through our emotions instead of trying to logic our way around them. It's the meeting point of the mind and feeling, clarity and compassion. Earth and fire come together when we ground before setting intentions or taking action. We root into what's real, our values, our body, our truth. And then from that grounded place, we spark that motivation to move forward. And when all 4 elements work together, something powerful happens. Our awareness, air, meets our heart, water, our body, earth, and supports our energy, fire. It's harmony between the inner and outer worlds. It's not about using the right stones or the perfect essential oil or cup of tea. It's about recognizing the pattern behind them. These tools and elements are all part of a bigger system of emotional healing or understanding of ourselves, a language of balance and self-awareness. Once you start seeing those connections, every practice becomes more intentional and meaningful. We start to understand that we're not just doing these practices, we are participating in the natural cycles that have always been supporting us. When we start to see the patterns of how the elements weave through us, we learn we can invite that balance into any moment of our day. It doesn't have to be some elaborate practice. Sometimes it's just a simple check-in before you start your day. So let's bring all this together with a quick element-inspired morning practice that we can do even on those rush days or days where we aren't feeling our best. A way for us to reconnect to ourselves through air, earth, water, and fire. Okay, so you know I always like to start with a gentle breath to bring ourselves in and to settle into this mindful moment. So naturally, let's start with air. Take a slow, deep breath in. Feel it fill your lungs. Expand your chest and clear the mental space for a new beginning. Then move into your earth energy. Notice the support beneath you, your seat, your feet, the ground that holds you. Feel that connection anchor you in the present moment. Now, water. Ask yourself with compassion and answer with honesty. How am I feeling today? Physically? Emotionally? And what do I need to support myself through this day? Allow the answer to arise without judgment, like ripples settling on a still water. Friend, lastly, fire. Ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today to support my well-being? It doesn't have to be profound. Maybe you've been going too hard and you need rest. Maybe all you have time for is 2 mindful breaths. Or maybe you choose one of these practices from my page to weave into your day, like mindful driving, shopping, or eating. Whatever it is, let it come from warmth, not pressure. From your spark, not the shoulds. This simple check-in invites the elements and your awareness back into alignment. It reminds you that our wellness or overall well-being isn't a one-time event. It's a conversation between breath, body, heart, and action that you can return to anytime. When you start to weave these small moments into your day, the elements stop feeling like something outside of you and start feeling like parts of you that are working together. Air clears our minds, water softens our hearts, earth steadies our bodies, and fire renews our energy. It's not about fixing ourselves. It's about returning to our natural rhythm. Whether you are just looking for direction or to get more out of life, working through grief, or reconnecting with your heart and body, the elements are always here to support you. If you would like to dive deeper into any of these practices, you can check out my other videos. Each one highlights a different element, and together they form a beautiful, complete cycle of support. Definitely let me know if you have any questions or if I can help point you in the right direction to a video of something like inspired you today that you want to look at. Or if you'd like some guidance on just where to start. Friend, thank you so much for showing up for yourself today and for sharing that moment with me. Stay present, stay kind to yourself, and I will see you soon.